Welcome to Almost Here, Round the Corner Future Technology podcast with Richard Jacobs. Future technologies poised to transform our lives for better or worse are the focus of this podcast. Almost here means these technologies are now here and starting to be used, or just around the corner, from Bitcoin to artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Future Tech Podcast. I'm your host, Juliette Lamar, and joining me today is Andy An. He is the founder at NOIZ, and we're very excited to have him on the show. Andy, welcome.
Hi, Juliette. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Why don't you go ahead and start us off by telling us all about NOIZ. What are you guys doing over there, and what is this?
Okay, so I'll kickstart and just a quick introduction of who I am and what we're trying to do with NOIZ. So myself, I'm Andy N. I'm the CEO and founder of NOIZ Chain, and we are an AI advertising network that we are trying to build and actually trying to take out all the ad frauds in the market, where we see most of the advertising banners nowadays are not clicked by humans, it's clicked by bots. And there's no real conversation between the brands and the end customer or online user. So what we have done is actually we have embedded an AI chatbot. When you click on a banner, instead of just a click, you can actually initiate a conversation with the banner, with the brand, and a conversation will kickstart, and you can create and have a more fruitful conversation and have your needs, and advertiser side can also provide you with the right service and products that you are seeking for. So we are instead of just having a click, we are now having a full conversation that is written down into a smart contract, and having all the information put it into a blockchain, so the end user can also gain back the rights of the personal data. So that is NOIZ, and this is what we are working on right now.
That is such an interesting and unique way to start interacting with advertisements. I never thought about that. When I see an ad, I like it. You click on it, usually takes you out to a website, but if you clicked on it, it had a chat box. That is so interesting.
Yes, and especially, if you look at, most of the past 23, 24 years in the advertising industry, we have, the smartest solution that we have, it's more of what we call programmatic buy or smart targeting. But, to be frank, it's not really smart because, I'm sure, Juliette, you might have also experienced, some of the banners that once you click on, it follows you everywhere. And even though you have bought the shoe or you have been to that hotel, it keeps on coming back, and there's a lot of wastage. And that's called smart targeting. And, for us, it's, working in the industry, we just felt that it's more of it's not smart targeting. It's annoying. And it's like recently I've been doing a lot of research on blockchain, and most of the advertising that pops up on my screen, it's all about blockchains and ICOs. But, I would love to see ads that is, like my hobbies, right? Something like I like to go hiking, or I'm planning a trip, but there's nothing that would be able to target me as an end user. So instead of just clicks, we just thought that maybe back to, humanity, it's all about conversation. So how can we bring back the conversation back into the industry, and at the same time, creating meaningful experience rather than just by clicks? And a lot of our advertisers, they love the idea because they see the conversion rate in the past 6 years. It has been, although they have been putting a lot of budget into advertising and media space, but then the conversion rate is dropping from 0.5% to maybe 0.1%. And that's really annoying.
Oh, absolutely. And I love this idea of interactive advertising because, like you said, I get, like everyone else, you've purchased a pair of shoes, for instance, and you will get ads for that same pair of shoes for months after you purchased them. And I'm like, I already bought them. Be smarter, be more interactive, or maybe ask me a question. Did you like those shoes, or do you, still interested in these shoes? And engaging the client in that way is huge.
Exactly. So what we are also adding on into the entire model is once you kickstart a conversation, our bot is called Nikola. So it's named after Nikola Tesla, because Nikola Tesla is the radio. It's the first network of communication. So we've got that. We're on a media business. We're reinventing the communication network. So once you kickstart a conversation, the bot Nikola will actually ask you more information about yourself. And let's say if the brand keeps on asking you about, are you interested in playing golf, for example, and you say yes, and then the bot would say, what's your handicap? And let's say you say your handicap is 87, and then the bot would say, wow, you're a good golf player. Would you be interested in having a free golf bag by a certain brand? And then the conversation keeps on going on, and the bot would ask you, what's your first name, what's your last name, what's your email address, if you're interested to participate in this, let's say, BMW Series 5 car show, and we can help you to sign up because this car is best suits for golfers. The trunk fits in 4 golf bags, and by interacting, once you're giving out data, you'll be rewarded with tokens. And with that token, you can actually go on joining as a loyalty program, have redemptions, have discount coupons or tokens. So that's the model that we are working on, to reward users instantly and make sure that it's a real person, it's in real time, and at the same time it's creating a real conversation rather than talking to strangers or bots that's run by algorithms.
And that is such a large undertaking to be able to have a conversational AI that is responding to you and your needs and wants for all different kinds of ads. That's huge.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So let's talk a little bit too. On your website, you have a whole video about ad fraud in digital advertising.
Yes.
For people who
yes.
maybe are not so aware in the space, can you talk a little bit about that and what kind of problem it is showing us?
I'm not sure if you have realized, back in maybe 10, 15 years ago, if you go online and try to click on some banners, like these companies would send you checks, right? Give you some incentives. And this is many years ago. But then, in nowadays, most of the advertising dollar, it's actually captured by bots. We call non-human interaction, or the bots interacting with the ads. And the fraud is roughly about $19 billion annually. And if we don't solve this problem by 2022, the fraud would be up to $44 billion US. And if you look at, if you look at the Visa card fraud or ATM frauds or mobile payment frauds, the fraud rate is roughly about 1 to 2% max. But in our industry, the fraud is over 50%. And that's not fair for the industry, and it's not good for their entire growth of, when all the advertisers are spending double-digit or triple-digit into digital advertising, and no one really cares about, all these fake views, fake traffic, fake interactions. And the reason why we really want to solve this, by my previous venture, I started a big data analytic company, and we see all the data behind that. Most of the advertisers, they don't know that they are being fraud by bots. So that's why they are tired of spending a lot of money into advertising, but the conversion rate in terms of return on investment on the advertising is it doesn't worth the time and money and resources spent into a campaign. So that's why we want to take care of the fraud. We think it's a big issue in the market, and hopefully we're not trying to disrupt anyone, but we would like to inspire bigger companies like maybe Facebook or Google can also look into all the fraud issues that's happening in the industry.
No, it's a huge problem that is occurring, and it's going to take a while to beat the fraudsters because it's their full-time job to steal your money. It's not your full-time job to protect your money. You try to protect as much as you can, but you do have, other things that you're trying to do. And I think a lot of times people forget that the fraudsters are always working on fraud, and we are only sometimes trying to protect ourselves, because we have other things to be thinking about. Well, getting back to a more positive note, with NOIZ, you have your ads, you have the ad platform with the campaign ads, and you also offer a wallet. Tell us a little bit about that.
So the reason why we are having a wallet is once you interact with the banner, and if you're willing to give out your personal data or information or any sort of important conversation, the advertiser will reward you, the platform will actually reward you with a token. But with the token, you need somewhere to do exchange, right? So once you get the token, we'll put it into our NOIZ wallet. At the NOIZ wallet, you will have a choice to keep the token. You can use the token to redeem a voucher from the advertiser, or you can actually do two more things. One is to donate the token to charity foundations. That is the one part of a social impact element that we're adding on. Or at the same time, you can redeem the token, which we have plugged in the online travel agency, that with the token, by adding fiat, you can actually change to a airline ticket and travel all around the world. So we're offering at the first stage, we'll 20 destinations that you because we don't want you to just hold the token, but we really want to reward you with some really tangible usage that you can actually go out and spend the token, use the token, travel around, or make some social impact. So that's the idea of having the wallet, and you feel more comfortable that now that you own the conversation, the smart contract is written down, you know where your data is, instead of in the old ways that you don't own any of the data. The platform keeps the data, but now you own the data of yourself, and if you're willing to give out more data, you get more tokens. And
I love the shift that's happening for users of the internet and of these platforms, is that they really are understanding the power of their own information. And that wasn't, people knew it, but they weren't quite as aware until recently, with the Facebook things that have been happening, that your information is monetarily valuable. And I think people never grasped that until recently. And now they do. It's really interesting to see how you are giving it back, the power back to the people.
Exactly, because I think, in the old days, we don't have the incentive of, it's just a norm, we're giving out all our personal information data to all these platforms, but no one have come out and, say, okay, what, actually our data is valuable, instead of giving to all the big companies or, big platforms. Well, maybe we should, own back our own information, and it's valuable. You can actually, create analytics and all the data, and you can actually sell to others. But it's all depend on your own decision whether you want to sell or not. So that's the revolution that we're trying to work on and create, because of blockchain, because of all these technology that's coming out, the decentralization of all the ad networks that we are trying to build. So hopefully this is a game changer, and hopefully we can benefit not only the advertisers and users, but also the publishers, as well as adding more people from the value chain into our platform.
And is your platform up and running? Can people start using it, or is there a release date?
We already kickstarted on our testnet, and then once we finish with our private sale, and then it will be out. So we already have signed up multiple advertisers. They are already willing to kickstart and work on an initial concept, because this hasn't been happened in the entire world yet. And so we have aligned with charity foundations, e-commerce clients, insurance clients, brands that they are willing to kickstart right away in next month, actually. So it's coming very soon.
Oh, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. So if people want to learn more about this, or advertisers want to use this technology for their ads, what is the best way to connect to you and to get started?
Okay. You can always connect me through email or Telegram. So I think the best way is to jump into our website, NOIZchain.com, and there you can find my information, and we can have discussions in terms of investment, partnership, or business development. So we're working with many different partners all around the world, and we look forward to bring this in a global platform.
Fantastic. And the website, all this can also be found on your website, which is NOIZchain.com, NOIZ chain.com. And you're on social media as well, and YouTube, all that?
Yes, I'm there. You can find my LinkedIn profile on the website, and I am also available to reach out on Telegram.
Fantastic,
as
well. And all that's available on your website.
Great. Yeah.
Well, that is fantastic. And Andy, this is such a great product, and really I'm excited and looking forward to interacting with the ads in my future.
Thank you, Juliet, for all your time, and I hope the community will also like our product. It's a work. To wrap this up, is actually we are here to demonstrate that using AI, blockchain, and crypto technology, that we are able to commercialize and use in the real business world, rather than just taking time and building technology that no one uses. So we are focusing on bringing in real clients, making business work, and making all the blockchain and AI in the best fit.
Fantastic. Andy, thank you so much for coming on Future Tech Podcast and sharing your amazing product and your wonderful motivation in this space with us.
Thank you, Juliet.
That is Andy An. He is the founder of NOIZ, NOIZ. You can find them at NOIZchain.com. This has been Juliet Lamar with Future Tech Podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in.
You have been listening to Almost Here, Around the Corner Future Technology Podcast with Richard Jacobs. Subscribe to this podcast, post a review to discover more future technologies that are poised to transform our lives for better or worse, such as Bitcoin, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.